Hey there, Empire fanatics. Don't you move an inch. We're going to get into season 5, episode 15, A Wise Father That Knows His Own Child. We're going to get into Lucious' love for Kingsley, Cookie's trick or treat, Andre's miracle, plus a lot more coming up. You don't want to miss it.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz.
Oh, I don't know, the music's still going. Hey there, guys. We've missed you guys since last week. I'm so excited to get into this episode. I am here solo today, so I'm gonna need you guys to talk to me and be a part of this episode, okay? Cool, we already got folks already in the chat. Well, how you doing, Erica Walker? We got Minnie Jazz. And we got Erica Walker in there still as well. But yeah, you guys go ahead and talk to me. Today, you're gonna be my special hostess, okay? We're gonna get straight into it. We're gonna get into Lucious' love for Kingsley. You know, tell me guys pretty much what you thought about that. And this episode, Lucious he's stepping up pretty much to the point where where Cookie is kind of like, she's kind of almost getting in the way of him being that good dad to his son, basically. Like Cookie's really worried about Andre, and Lucious is pretty much worried about Kingsley, and she's kind of like, whoa, you got to pick a son, basically. You know what I mean? And so we start off the episode, we see that Lucious goes to White Tracy and try to make amends, saying, hey, they start off in church, hallelujah, they praising. Lucious all of a sudden has this move of compassion, as we've been seeing as him being, you know, Dwight. And we start to see the crocodile tear come down again. You know, we've been loving the waterworks every episode. So at this point, you know, he basically thinks, hey, I want to get back, you know, in contact with Kingsley. He goes to White Tracy. White Tracy is basically saying, like, I'll do my best. And up until this part, I'm not even going to lie, I thought that Lucious kind of was the bad guy. But we see that White Tracy has actually been poisoning the kid's mind all this time. She kind of got this little sick infatuation with Lucious, right? Like she was like, oh, he wants me, and, you know, I'm just trying to push him off of me. But really, nobody wants you, White Tracy. I hate to tell you, White Tracy, but you're safe. You know what I mean? He got the cookie. He don't want the White Tracy at this moment. You know what I mean? And we find out so much. We find out that the reason why White Tracy's the way she is because she has been kind of stuck on Lucious, right? And Kingsley is pretty much the pawn in all of this. And once again, I feel as though we have seen Lucious in another light. I was waiting, I don't know if you guys out there waiting for it, but I was waiting for Lucious to all of a sudden have this twist to where all of a sudden you realize that he did know about Kingsley, and it was like, I just didn't want to deal with it. But really, you know, it was one of those scorn women situations where the woman didn't want the father to be around, basically. She kind of wanted the man didn't want her, so all of a sudden she took it out on the kid. So, you know, you guys tell me about that. You know, tell me if you guys are dealing with that. I'm looking at the chat right now. We got Erica Walker, saying that the FBI lady got to go ASAP. I totally agree. Listen, I don't know why every season the fuzz is pretty much into these conversations, but this one is even more annoying because at this point there is a recent death, but that's not even what they're investigating. I feel like they're just making up stuff on Lucious just cause. Like, he's done stuff where he's made bodies disappear. So it's kind of like, okay, let's look into him. But right now, I feel like she has a personal vendetta. She may even be a daughter at this point because she is just upset the way Kingsley is upset. So I totally agree with you, Erica. And she said, and Erica also says, and did Kai rush Jamal into having the wedding like y'all just got back together some days ago? Once again, I'm totally in agreement with that one. Everything is moving so fast, definitely with that. You know, if you guys have been watching the other episodes, I have not been the biggest Kai fan at all. So you guys chime in. What do you think about Lucious's love for Kai? And he also brings in Lucious's love for Kingsley. He also brings Kingsley to the round table. And you know, that's a symbol. You know, I don't know if you have that in your families too, but it's like symbolic. It's like breaking bread. That is a symbol of peace when people come together and eat together. So that was probably the most awkward meal that I've ever seen on Empire. Everyone is looking at Kingsley like, you just tried to end us 2 weeks ago, and now you want us to pass the bread. Like, what is going on? Can you pass the salt? No, can you pass the revenge? Like, everyone is still upset, and here he is sitting there. Lucious and Kingsley has this great moment where they cry it out, you know, essentially. But the family is still not all the way on board. You know, you guys let me know. Do you think that the family should all of a sudden forgive, or you think they should kind of watch Kingsley a little closely? because we also see at the beginning of the episode that Kingsley he is working with the FBI. He's still trying to take down his father. But it wasn't until after he talked to Lucious and once again, had that talk that he's like, okay, all right, it's maybe not all the way your fault. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think. Are you guys now Kingsley fan? After the few crocodile tears, are you on board now? Yeah, tune in. Let me know what you think. Let's see, cookies, trick or treat. But before I tell you about the cookie, hey guys, before we move on to our next topic, we just wanted to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. For us to continue to grow, we could use your help. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so we can get involved into the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to us all, and we truly appreciate you supporting us and doing what we love. Don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying our shows. Yes. Like I said, my guest is in here. If you're just tuning in, our guest is not here today. So it's Sayrie on the mic for right now. But I definitely would love to hear from you guys as well. We got the chat up. We got, hey, King Manny, how you guys doing? It says Tiana's been a little thought this Tiana's been a little thought this season. I could not agree more. Let's jump into a little bit about Tiana and I have a little segue about Tiana and Devon, right? Tiana, sit down. Tiana likes everyone. We've seen her like Blake, then we've seen her like Carlito, and now she's giving eyes to Devon. And I don't know if it's Tiana kind of going for them or they just kind of really looking at her. But we finally see some emotion this episode out of Hakeem. If, we see Hakeem being like, wait a minute, like what's going on? That's still my baby mama. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I guess we got to stay tuned to see who she's going to pick. She has, so many eggs in the basket at this point. Like she has a dozen at this point. So we need to figure out who's going to be the king. I'm voting for Hakeem. You guys can let me know who you're voting for. Buzz down Tatiana, hilarious. I love it, Erica Walker. I love it. She said, buzz down Tatiana. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I guess, I don't know if you guys are still fans of Tiana. She hasn't been my favorite character, because of all the things she's been going through. But, she is talented. So we'll see kind of what goes on with that. Okay, so moving on to cookies, trick or treat. Now, we get this bombshell this episode that Cookie has actually been going to Damon for the last 6 weeks in regards to Andre's sickness. So Lucious has not been there for her. So she's been going to Damon. Now, we know that she likes Damon. We know that she gets turned on by Damon. She has those little nights where she kind of, think about him over a glass of wine or something. We've seen her kind of like fall suit into that. And she almost messed up to the point where she actually slept with Damon. So, at this point, Carol has to tell her, like, that's emotionally cheating. Carol goes in there and says, I'm always going to be there for you. But she was like telling her that if you're lying to your husband and leaning on another man, it's a threat. Yes. Now, we've talked about this in past episodes too. When it comes to women, we are emotional creatures. So before we just give our bodies, it's usually, some type of emotional connection whatsoever. And I think that's more dangerous than to just be there and just be friends or whatever. Like, well, let me say this differently. It's more dangerous for a woman to be kind of getting really close and really emotionally friendly with a guy that she's interested in. A man, supposedly, I don't know, I don't have the genitalia of a man, but supposedly men cheat, just because it's Tuesday or, something kind of like, something they feel or they're attracted to, but it doesn't mean anything emotionally. But women build on events and, vulnerability and feeling comfortable. So right now, I don't know if you agree about this, but I think Cookie is cheating. She's definitely emotionally cheating. And so we see her with Damon. They're hanging out. They're thinking about, they're bonding over their 2 kids having cancer. And when the horrible thing about it to me is when she finds out that Andre is okay, then she's like, oh yeah, I can't do this anymore, because I feel as though she lost the need for him to a certain extent. But Erica Walker says Cookie is blowing me this season. Yeah, she's crazy. I agree. And then someone also, Leticia Abero, said that Tiana has to be a thought this episode. She's been a thought, like we said, a few episodes now. So, hey, we don't let her thought it out for right now. But back to Cookie. You guys let me know. Do you feel as though she has emotionally cheated? I want to know. So you go ahead and comment in the comments and let me know if anybody agrees with me on that one. Also, moving on, we're going to get to Andre's miracle. So the reason why Cookie's even close to Damon, supposedly, is because she needs that shoulder to cry on. Lucious is out there with his bastard son. You know, it's kind of start like Game of Thrones in here. And so now she needs someone to feel what she's feeling, because Lucious wants her to basically suck it up, be strong, don't show any weakness, don't say anything. And Damon, with his shirt unbuttoned and the candles lit and the music and the wine going, he's like, just talk to me. You know, I know how you feel. And I think she was vulnerable, but once that vulnerability was gone, she realized, you know, like this isn't for me. But I do not think this is the end of Damon, and I don't think it's the end of her feeling for him, you know. But we'll see. You know, it's a lot more to go on so far. And like I said about Andre's miracle, we see that he had cancer, and now the doctor comes over and says that he's cured. Woo! Go Andre. Okay, he's one treatment away from being 100% cancer free. So good on Andre. Congratulations, Andre. You're definitely a character that I personally love, and I cannot see you be done away with. And we still have to keep in mind that the casket is coming up, so we need to know who exactly is in this casket. And it wasn't looking too good for Jussie because of the things that were going on in the media, you know, with his real life character. But now that, you know, we've heard the news that Jussie is actually going to stay on board with Empire, and now Andre is kind of recuperating from the cancer. So it's kind of like almost a really good guess, you know, of who's in the casket. You know, if you guys think you know who's in there, you can go ahead and shout it out. And Erica Walker says, I need to see Damon daughters first. Exactly. Forgive me if I don't say this right, but quintessential 2 says Cookie has checked out of her marriage. And Letitia Barrow says Cookie is cheating, obviously. I totally agree with you guys. So you guys are totally on board with me on that one. Emotionally cheating still counts, especially for women. And if it's for emotionally cheating for a man, then look for the divorce, because that's how I feel about it. We already talked a little bit about Hakeem and Tiana. We're going to jump into Jamal and Kai. Let me know what you guys think about Jamal and Kai. Are you guys in love with Jamal and Kai? Yeah. I always said Kai was not my guy. We're in earlier we shout out that they rushed the wedding. I totally agree. But me just playing devil's advocate, I believe that's because Jamal is going to be on vacation or something, or on his honeymoon or something in the last 2 episodes, because they're not going to kill him. So I think that's what we're kind of seeing right here as we blend the storyline and kind of like the real life. But nonetheless, Jamal and Kai are madly in love. They're happy, but they just say can't wait to get married. So shout out to Jamal and Kai. Great. And on the sidebar, though, we've been watching the thing with the FBI. We see at the end of the episode that the FBI is actually saying that the Trust Tour is going to be canceled because Lucious is actually spreading drugs on the tour. Now, we don't think that's true. We don't know that to be true at all. So I'm thinking at this point, someone is either planning drugs, or someone has given a false, maybe a little false code that there may be drugs. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. But I'm pretty sure that's going to get, shut down at some point. The FBI can do a big part of stopping this tour, because you have to remember, this tour is everything right now. This is the key to relaunching Empire. If you hit the tour, you kind of hit the Empire. So it should be interesting. She'll be interesting with the FBI. I don't know who this FBI lady is, but she is dirty. And I can't deal with her too much longer than what she is right now. We're going to move on into our "Oh no you didn't" moment.
Oh no he didn't.
Oh no he didn't. For me, the "Oh no you didn't" moment would have to be White Tracy when she lies to Kingsley to his face. And she is doing it to perfection. At that point, I was like, oh, no, you didn't. She looks at Kingsley, her son, who she loves. And I almost feel as though she's trying to trap Kingsley. She's trying to make him stay her little boy, stay like maybe even her man. The way she kind of leans to Kingsley is like, give mama a kiss, or the way she did it was kind of like, and how he kind of reluctantly kisses her. It was almost like abusive somewhat. Like she's always kind of wanted Lucious. Maybe she sees a little Lucious in him, and she's kind of like, putting those feelings on the kid. I don't know. It just got really strange for me. So I just kind of like don't want to get too much into that part. But it was crazy. I'm going to check back in the chat. It says, Letitia Barrow says, Cookie is cheating, obviously. Erica Walker says, Teri is pregnant and I can't wait. Great. I totally agree. And she also says, I think Carlito selling the drugs because he was missing for the tour rehearsals. Woo! Erica, you're amazing. I didn't think about that. Yeah, Carlito, he may be. I don't think we've seen him kind of talk about drugs though. So for him to be selling drugs, that would be kind of a little bit of a jump. But I can see where you're going with that because if there is in fact drugs on the tour, then who's doing it? Lucious is definitely not going to get his hands dirty with drugs at this point. Neither are any of the Lyons. And if it is someone else that's on the tour that's doing it, then the Lyons is no longer responsible for that. They can't be responsible for whatever happens on the tour. So that's very interesting. So news, the news is basically Jussie, still in the news. We're still talking about Jussie and what's going on with him, and the Chicago mayor is still, chiming in on that. So we're going to stay tuned. I don't have too much to say about the news today. We're going to stay tuned and see what kind of folds out a little bit better. We do know that Jussie's coming back, and he's written out of the last 2 episodes. But there is going to be a season 6. Woo! Season 6 of Empire, and Jussie is very much going to be a part of the cast. So last but not least, we're going to get into our predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Let's see. Predictions this week. I would say so many. Okay. White Tracy is obviously going to get found out that she's been lying the whole time. So at some point, there's going to be a confrontation between White Tracy, Lucious Lyon, and Kingsley, where they're all going to be able to confront what's going on. Because I don't think she's going to sit down politely or lay down politely while Lucious basically takes over his son or takes his son back. So I think there's going to be something where happens with that. I also see it's going to be a lot of confrontation between Cookie and White Tracy and Lucious. And the way Cookie kind of drunk the wine at the end of the table when, Lucious was like, this is my son. This is my son, man. This is my son. Because that's a good impression of Lucious. And the way she drunk the wine and she's basically like very disturbed by it. I can see that being something that's going to make Cookie actually kind of crumble. She may cheat at some point. Damon has been there for so long. And she's been using him emotionally. I think she's not going to like the idea that Lucious is calling an outside child his son. We got to stay tuned to see it, but I think so. And also I think Damon is not going to take very politely on Cookie just walking out his life. Yeah, we know he's a murderer. We know he kills. And he kills and still sleeps at night. So that's the worst kind of killer, a killer with no regret. So we're definitely going to stay tuned. I think I'm going to definitely stay tuned to see what happens with Damon Cross, with this FBI situation, also with Cookie and their relationship, and how Kingsley pretty much is going to fit into the whole Lyon dynamic. So you guys go ahead and keep on chiming in. One more before we get out of here. Letitia Barrow says, why Hakeem and Tiana don't talk anymore? Now, Letitia, I don't know if you remember this, but Hakeem and Tiana have been out for a while. We've seen ever since Hakeem gets shot and Hakeem gets gets shot or whatever with the bullets, they haven't been the same. He was out for 2 years. Tiana wanted to get back to music. She pretty much chose music over the family somewhat. And Blake at the time was the one who was kind of pushing them apart. And after that whole dynamic, it just haven't been the same. But thank you guys so much for chatting with me in the chat. I look forward to seeing you guys next week with our full panel back. And see you next time.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.